All right, guys, if you haven't already heard, we've got an amazing new mystery box that we're dropping. This is actually 1.5 pounds, and it contains 36 different items, and it's 35 samples, 35 perfume samples, and one hand cream from one of the fragrance samples or perfume samples that's in it. So it's 36 total items, and it's the latest mystery box. It's the biggest mystery box that I've ever put together. This is huge. And it's dropped now. And if you haven't already bought yours, because we did announce this yesterday, if you're signed up for our emails, it is selling now. And judging by the way it's sold just from the emails, this is going to sell out very soon. So it's in the store. Check it out. It's linked. I'm going to go over the fragrances that are in here and give you the details as well. But before I do that, a couple of announcements I do have to tell you about. So I'm making an appearance at a store in Palm Springs on Saturday, if you're around or nearby. This is a store called Phylum, P-H-Y-L-U-M, and it's apparently a modern apothecary, so it has gift items and things like that there. And they've brought in this amazing machine that creates fragrances. So if you want to create something signature or something original that you wear, this is the machine for you if you're looking to come in and give it some information and walk out with a perfume. So I'll be there on Saturday the 13th, a week from yesterday, so in a little less than a week, from 2 to 6, and looking forward to meeting some of you guys so I can show you this machine. And I'm very curious to learn about this machine as well. So if you're in the area, maybe closer to LA or San Diego, and I've personally never been to Palm Springs before, so this is the first time I'm visiting, and excited to go to the store and make an appearance and show you this machine, this automating fragrances for you to create something truly original and unique, and you walk out and you've got a brand new fragrance that nobody has. Apparently, the ingredients are coming from IFF, so International Flavors and Fragrances. So I'm very excited for that. I hope to see you guys there. Phylum, P-H-Y-L-U-M, in Palm Springs on Saturday the 13th from 2 to 6. Now, another announcement that I have as well, and it's related to the mystery boxes in ScentClub. So there's actually only two huge, giant, big mystery box / ScentClub kits that we've put together. Just only two. So here are the details. 79 mystery box samples. So there's 79 total samples in this box, plus 21 fragrances in the usual ScentClub kit samples, as you can see, like this. 21 of these, which are from past kits. And it includes Vanilla Mudslide, by the way, because once again, Vanilla Mudslide got sold out, gone in an hour. I was shocked. I actually aired another video. I had to pull the video down because I just completely sold out. And apparently, they won't get any new stock until next year. So this, only two items. It's a rare mystery box with 79 mystery box samples from previous kits and 21 ScentClub kits samples that you get in these boxes in this one entire 100-item kit. And there's only two, and these will be repeat. If you've bought previous mystery boxes and or ScentClub kits, these will be repeat, so there's not anything new in them, but these are huge mystery boxes with ScentClub kits, and totally worth more than the amount we're asking for. It's $249 for 100 total items. And again, as I said, 79 mystery, but they have been featured in previous mystery boxes. Those are samples, usually from 1 to 3 ml. And then 21 of ScentClub kit samples, as you get like this. One of them is for sure Vanilla Mudslide, and there are not going to be repeats with the ScentClub itemed samples. So there won't be repeats of any of the mystery box samples, but anyway, just wanted to give you guys that highlight. Again, Vanilla Mudslide won't be back until next year. Apparently they're completely out. They weren't even supposed to get any here in the States. Apparently they were supposed to go to another shop somewhere in Europe, but we got them here. But again, it sold out in an hour. So this very rare mystery box / ScentClub kit box with 100 different items, and there's only 2 of, is selling right now, along with the fragrances and the mystery box, or I should say, along with the mystery box that we have for sale right now. So let me go over the fragrances with you guys. So initially we were supposed to drop this last weekend. Usually what we've done in the past, we had some issues receiving. Lately, it's been extremely problematic receiving items from Europe. So delays and fees and all kinds of stuff. If you ever look at my email and text, I'm getting constant emails and texts from DHL, FedEx, and UPS on a daily basis. It's like overwhelming. So we had to put it off because there were some lagging. Finally, we got them all. And so now we have them. And I'm so happy with this box, guys. It's an awesome box. Again, it's about 1.5 pounds of samples and things. And I'll tell you what the fragrances are. I'm not going to tell you the names because this is a mystery as of now. But next week, I'll do a second video, which will do the reveal of the fragrances. So the first fragrance I'll read to you. This fragrance wraps the skin in a soft, airy woodiness that slowly deepens into a warm, golden, resinous glow. A radiant, almost mineral warmth rises from the heart, blending smoky and gently leathery nuances with a touch of sunlit sweetness. The result is a sheer yet lingering aura, subtle, modern, and quite hypnotic in the way it moves with the warmth of your skin. So there you go. That's the first fragrance. And let me spritz it on and smell it for you on camera. So to me, this is sort of minimalistic, but it goes into an amber direction, and it's got smoky touches and resinous sticky touches as well. So in the end, it's spicy, it's woody, it's ambery, and of course resinous because it is utilizing resins, and there's a peppery smokiness about it as well. I like it. It smells really, really naturalistic, and the ingredient that they're highlighting in this particular fragrance, or the ingredient or the note that they're focusing on, to me smells very naturalistic. Really does. Also has a major autumn vibe. So that's one of the samples. And as I'm reading this information for these fragrances, this is not in any particular order like the original ScentClub kits. But I'm just reading them in the order of when the samples were received. And by the way, also, just to let you know, we do have the original kits with the vanilla mudslide in. We actually made more. We've sold so much of that particular kit. But since we have the juice, we actually made more of those kits. So if you are in the market to discover my favorite vanilla fragrance within the last year or so, definitely check out kit number 14, which features vanilla mudslide. But if you were one of the 2 people that picked up the 2 big mystery boxes with 79 mystery box samples and 21 actual ScentClub kit decant atomizers, then you will have the vanilla mudslide in there. So the next fragrance it says, this fragrance opens with a sharp glimmer of grapefruit, cypress, and artemisia before sinking into a warm, spiced heart of cumin, nutmeg, saffron, and a touch of rose. As it deepens, rich oud folds into leather, amber, tonka, and sandalwood, creating a smoky, intimate warmth that feels both ancient and quietly magnetic. The overall impression is a glowing desert night kind of scent, mysterious, inviting, and built to linger long after the moment fades. So this one is a Parfum concentration. The previous one, I believe, was an Eau de Parfum concentration. So this is quite strong. But you know what? It's smoky, it's woody, it's spicy for sure. And it's utilizing oud. It's not an animalistic or animalic oud. It's an oud accord, but done in a really pleasant way. It might hint at fragrances like oud wood. It's that kind. But it's super concentrated, super spicy. It's not identical. There's slight leathery nuances as well. enough sweetness to balance out the fragrance and not go in a total Western oud direction and woody direction. But we're starting off with quite masculine offerings here. Great fragrances. The next fragrance was a bit of a challenge to receive, but we ended up with it. We'll have to get to how the fragrance was, the fragrance itself was delivered, but we'll talk about that later. This scent captures the moment when the world finally slows and everything falls into its rightful rhythm. A bright rush of mandarin, bergamot, ginger, and green tea sets an energetic pace, softened by a smooth blend of orange blossom, rose, neroli, and jasmine tea. As it settles, patchouli, whitewoods, and cedarwood create a grounded, effortless calm, leaving a clean, balanced trail that feels steady, focused, and beautifully in tune. So this one to me, this one, it smells like figs, but there's no mention of figs. There's a greenness about it. I think it's the tea. It's tricking my nose, and the way things are combined in this. It's reminding me of fig, but it's very fresh, very invigorating, spicy, and also cozy because it does have tea as a note. But super calming. It's so good. It's almost like the calming tea notes that are in here are laced with some bitter greens reminding me of figs. So awesome. Really, really lovely fragrance. I'm glad to be able to feature that here. And so we are talking about it right now for you. And it's in the kit right now. So if you haven't bought your kit yet, please do. But this next fragrance is also on the masculine side, but I don't think it's utilizing well, it is utilizing masculine notes, but it does have a feature of a flower, which I'll get to here in a bit. So this fragrance spins a hypnotic blend of narcissus, jonquil, and daffodil accords, wrapped in the warmth of honey, chamomile, and salted butter, creating a floral aura that's both luminous and dangerously seductive. Deep undertones of leather, tobacco, ambrette, and patchouli add a sultry, skin-like intimacy, while jasmine, sambac, orange flower, and carnation bring a spicy vintage floral glow. Resinous, balsam, vanilla, and a soft musk impression anchor the whole composition, leaving a decadent trail that feels lush, sensual, and quietly irresistible. Yes, this is vintage-esque. Yes, it's a bit animalic, so this is not for the faint of heart. And also want to specify, this is probably a kit that I've done, a mystery box that features a lot of new brands that you might have not even heard about, but they're kind of on the horizon to kind of, get themselves out there for the world to know. So this is a great way for you guys to be introduced to the fragrances that are in here. But this is super jammy, intense. It's got a musky characteristic. It's got a funk under there for sure. But there's also a very hay-like, dry, because the flowers that they mention, I feel like I'm experiencing them in their kind of very mature age. Like they've been around for a while. You know how flowers grow and get older and then they die. So these kind of seem like they're getting old. So they have very strong, intense smells. Also, creating that additional funk that comes with more age and things like that, with the flowers and things like that. So I'll be talking more about these fragrances, but that one's definitely very vintage-esque. I love that about it. It's intense also. It's got a lot of concentration, so it lasts a long time. So the next fragrance mentions, this fragrance takes the fougere style in a crisp, airy direction, weaving in earthy nuances and beautifully natural lavender profile. It conjures the sensation of wandering through sun-soaked fields where warm soil, fresh blooms, and a touch of mineral breeze mingle in the heat. Bright, uplifting, and quietly nostalgic, it feels like a summer day captured in scent. And yes, it does. This has also got some vintage vibes. Don't worry though, not everything is vintage here. We think this is probably the only two that goes into a bit more of a vintage direction. This is kind of a very classically inspired aromatic fougere, but with an overdose of citruses. To me, there's a major familiar smell about it. It reminds me of fragrances of the yesteryear. And I love the intensity of the lavender, the potency of the citruses, and also the backbone, because it's kind of grounded really nicely, that it balances out the citruses along with the aromatics together. Anybody that's into fragrances like Eau Sauvage, Chanel Pour Monsieur will be really, really happy with this fragrance. So that is another one that I just mentioned. So the next one might have a kind of a familiar smell to it, but we ended up getting this brand to send us the samples. But do want to warn you, the brand sent really small samples. So we always mention 1 to 3 mLs. Some people are a little upset that we don't specify the exact sample, but I can't really guarantee how big of a sample the brand sent. So this particular one, once you find out, you'll notice it's quite a small sample. Also, the profile is a bit familiar. Let me explain to you a little bit. This fragrance opens with a burst of bright grapefruit before melting into an addictive ambroxan-driven heart. Deep woody notes anchor the base, giving the scent a smooth modern elegance that feels both refined and long-lasting. Crafted with a polished contemporary touch, it's designed for anyone who wants a signature that feels confident, stylish, and unmistakably sophisticated. This is a very fresh fragrance, very citrusy, woody, ambery, zingy, spicy. I think it's definitely a solid offering from the line, but there is a familiarity about that DNA. The next fragrance, this fragrance is inspired by the warmth, strength, and quiet radiance long associated with a gemstone it evokes. It celebrates the deep comfort of loyal friendship, the kind of bond that feels steady, luminous, and protective through every season of life. The result is a scent that honors connection, gratitude, and the enduring glow of those who walk beside it. So it is a fresh, fruity, ambery fragrance. So as you can see, we don't have all very vintage style fragrances. We have a nice balance this time around. Some gourmands, there's some lactonic fragrances, there's ambers, musks. But this is kind of fruity and fresh, but it has this kind of amber woody base. So it's kind of pretty intense that way. But when you compare this fragrance, the fact that it's fruity with other fruity fragrances, it's not like screaming in your face. It's a nice balance together. It's quite fresh, but also very deep. So that is a great one. This next one, this fragrance opens with warm notes of rum, prune, and smoky coffee, setting a mood of instant intrigue and quiet anticipation. A velvety rose softens the heart, blending with tonka, vanilla, and touches of tobacco for added depth. Amber, sandalwood, and patchouli linger on the skin, creating a sensual, intimate warmth that feels like a moment on the verge of becoming something more. This one is actually quite comforting. It's a rose gourmand, sort of. But it's got a deep, smoky coffee smell against the kind of sweeter notes. And of course, the rose comes in to balance everything out. But of course, it's got, booziness and spiciness and woods and amber. Really comforting, I think. You guys will like that one if you like my taste in fragrances. All right, this next one, where do we have that one? Here it is. Let me read it. This fragrance begins with a fresh, spicy lift that gradually gives way to a lush, creamy iris, softened by green aromatic nuances. As it warms on the skin, the iris becomes more sensual, blending with sandalwood, labdanum, and a modern suede-like accord for a rich, tactile depth. The result is a velvety, hypnotic scent that feels both powerful and irresistibly soft. This one, to me, leans very green. Not much sweetness, but also to me, when I test it out, I get major vetiver vibes from this. But of course, you've got, creaminess, lots of woods. It's almost like you're walking through a forest, but not necessarily dry and dusty, kind of velvety smooth, So that one is a great one for you to try. And then we've got 2 oudi fragrances back to back, or 3. Yeah, we've got some oudi fragrances in this series of fragrances in the mystery box. So let me just make sure I'm talking about the right one. This fragrance opens with a tempting mix of spiced rum and caramel apple, creating a warm, sweet, and lightly boozy allure on the skin. A smoldering heart of orris and incense deepens the intensity before giving way to a rich, addictive base of dark cocoa and chocolate and oud. The result is a decadent gourmand with a sensual edge, perfect for anyone who loves their sweetness served with heat and darkness. This is yummy, by the way. There's fruitiness, gourmand touches. It's like holiday spices to me, but with oud. Really yummy. I love that one. Gives me a little bit of Wajan vibes. Maybe a little bit of Angel Share vibes. But super delicious. Really, really yummy. And then we've got, this fragrance opens with a soft hint of pink pepper and creamy strawberry before settling into a plush heart of suede, sandalwood, and gentle incense. Oud and ambrette anchor the base, creating a musky, milky warmth that melts into the skin. The overall impression is intimate, comforting, and quietly alluring, like a second skin with a touch of mystery. Yeah, there are a few milky kind of fragrances and not necessarily gourmand leaning. This one doesn't lean gourmand. I think it's because it has like an overdose of sandalwood. So it creates this milky effect. It does remind me a little bit of a slightly sweeter take on, what is it called? Milky Musk from Parlez-moi de Parfum. Maybe a little bit of Molton Brown's Milk Musk. It reminds me of those kind of fragrances because I think the sandalwood is super amped up in this. And then we've got another gourmand. This fragrance captures the irresistible moment just before a dessert is revealed, when warm sweetness fills the air and anticipation peaks. A rich blend of vanilla, amber, wood, and decadent gourmand notes create a cozy, mouth-watering warmth that feels both nostalgic and indulgent. It's a scent designed to comfort, tempt, and awaken your sweetest memories. Once again, very creamy. A lot of these creamy fragrances do add a warmth and comforting, enveloping, vibe about them. Especially for this time of the year, they're perfect. And of course, there's that sweetness as well in there, giving you a dessert vibe. So it's super delicious. Yum. I want to wear that one. I want to eat it, actually. I'm kind of hungry. I'm shooting this kind of last minute, and I haven't had any breakfast, and it's like almost noon. All right, and the next fragrance is... this fragrance is built for nights out, wrapping the skin in a warm, sensual aura that turns heads the moment you walk in. It captures the thrill of being noticed and the effortless confidence that comes from a scent that pulls people closer. A quick spray sets the tone for the evening, making you feel irresistible and ready to light up any room. So, not much explanation of what style. It's an amber fragrance. It's quite golden to me. Amber fragrances have become very popular. There's been a lot of amber fragrance releases. Super spicy, slightly vanillic, but resinous and balsamic. This one also seems very base heavy. So it's an extract, so it's got great lingering power for sure. But super, resinous and spicy. Balsamic amber. Love that. So the complete opposite of this next one. This one actually is a skin scent. Musky. I really love fragrances like this. And this is the fragrance that actually has the hand cream as well. Oh, I love that. But again, some skin scents, skin scents usually, musky skin scents are closer to the skin, just be warned. But this one, it says, this fragrance captures the moment when daylight fades into night, opening with glowing notes of blood orange, pepper, and soft florals. A warm heart of cedarwood, patchouli, and cashmere guides the transition into a base of ambergris, musk, and cistus that feels serene and moonlit. The result is a sensual, shape-shifting scent that moves effortlessly from bright dusk to deep twilight. All right, this next fragrance, where do we have that one? All right, this one says, this fragrance opens with a bright rush of bergamot and peach before revealing a lush, sensual rose wrapped in soft iris and warm sandalwood. Ambery notes melt into the skin, creating a velvety, addictive depth. The interplay of floral elegance and ambery warmth makes the scent feel both intoxicating and unmistakably bold. So this one actually is super potent also. It's an extrait de parfum, but it's basically taken rose into an ambery direction. Along the way, there's spices, resins, woods. Not much freshness here, but there's definitely a very creamy vibe about it. But when the rose is settling, it does get a bit fruity. I think that one will be very popular, especially for the fact that it's quite potent. So this next one, this fragrance opens with a bright mix of fig, lemon, and quince before deepening into a rich blend of saffron, resins, and pink pepper. Cedarwood and earthy notes and oud warm the base, giving the scent a sense of depth and ancient richness. The overall impression is vibrant, worldly, and inspired by the Mediterranean. There you go. Mediterranean I connect with because I was born in the Mediterranean. Super resinous, intense, but for sure you get to notice the fig. So we have, this one actually claims fig, but the other one didn't claim fig, but the tea one, but it reminds me of figs. This is a lot more deeper, but definitely smells like a Mediterranean fragrance. And honestly, guys, the bottle is gorgeous. But really happy that this fragrance is featured here. We had a bit of a challenge with this one as well, but finally, there's a lot of challenges we had with a lot of the fragrances in this kit. That's why it got delayed. Delivery issues and yada yada. But I'm happy this one is here. So the next fragrance, it says, this fragrance opens with the gentle brightness of bergamot with white flowers before unfolding into a glowing heart of neroli, orange blossom, with a creamy warmth. A lactonic accord with vanilla create an addictive, comforting base that feels both nostalgic and quietly sensual. The overall effect is a tender transition from innocence to allure, expressed through a modern gourmand lens. So this one is not necessarily super gourmand because there's a lot of floral notes here, orange blossom and things like that. But it's surrounded with creamy gourmand notes. It's so yummy, super super yummy. I love that. I could eat that up. All right, the next fragrance. This fragrance feels like a futuristic garden, blending tart fruits, airy florals, and green nuances into something luminous and ever-shifting. Cool rhubarb and stone fruits lead into a soft, golden floral heart, subtly wrapped by modern abstract notes that give the scent an otherworldly glow. Warm woods and creamy skin-like softness anchor the base, leaving a bright, surreal trail that seems to move and transform in air. All right, let's check that one out. So there's definitely something green running throughout the fruitiness in this, almost like cannabis to me. It did mention green nuances. But to me, for some reason, when I smell this, the fruitiness against the green gives me like neon kind of colors, like fluorescent colors. It's basically very juicy and fruity and tart at the same time, but nicely contrasted with greens. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that one. So this next one I'm obsessed with. I've been testing it out from sample and the bottle. This is such an autumn appropriate fragrance. It's warm, spicy, and sticky, resinous. But it says this fragrance opens with a radiant blend of neroli, pink pepper, and fir, capturing the warmth and gentle sparkle of a new day. A creamy heart of milk-kissed dried fruits, cinnamon, and soft resins adds a comforting sweetness that feels both sensual and inviting. Vanilla, ambroxan, and musk settle into a lingering velvety trail that evokes shared moments, simple pleasures, and memories that cling to the skin. It's so good. The dried fruits in this, so yummy. Holiday come alive. This fragrance is delicious. In fact, several of the fragrances from this house are so awesome. It's a brand new house I discovered. Probably you haven't even heard of it, but I think these will be hits. I mean, all the fragrances that I'm sampling from them. In fact, one of their fragrances, not this one, has been featured in a video in the past, a couple months ago. And I'll be talking about all of the fragrances if I haven't already spoken about the fragrances that I'm speaking about here today. All right, we've got another, that is like I said, literally that fragrance is a autumn fragrance. It's not gourmand, but it has kind of gourmand notes, but it's kind of sticky, ambery, but spicy. And the dried fruits, I love dried fruits and fragrances, so it's a great to experience that in that fragrance. But this next fragrance, it says this fragrance opens with a playful mix of mandarin, apricot, touch of ylang, setting a mood of indulgent elegance. A lush heart of stone fruits and salty notes deepens the sensuality, while keeping a light, teasing charm. Osmanthus, amber notes, musk anchor the base, leaving a long-lasting signature that drifts between innocence and decadence. This house is known for making such delicious gourmand fragrances, and this is definitely one of them. It's so creamy smooth. And the saltiness also adds this layer of realistic smell because, I don't know, something about the salt in here. Because sometimes, this is kind of jammy. I'm almost like spreading like jam on bread with butter and kind of, it's not necessarily, sweet butter. It's got some salty edge because it's got salt in it. That's what I get with that one. So yum. And then the next is, this fragrance evokes a mystical forest where crisp evergreens, glowing warmth, and a sense of ancient ritual come together in a dreamlike atmosphere. Inspired by traditions of spiritual healing, it blends sacred essences to encourage clarity, awakening, a deeper connection to one's inner potential. The result feels like a modern, supercharged form of aromatherapy that energizes the mind and stirs the imagination. What do you think of that one? Almost sounds like, oh boy, I forgot the name of that brand that does these kind of therapeutic fragrances. But this actually smells like what they're talking about. That's very spa to me. Like it has minerally touches, but kind of aromatic greens. Cypress keeps coming to mind with this one. So like evergreen kind of greens, but mentholy kind of eucalyptusy greens as well. But like beautiful wooden spas, like wood paneling and maybe like going into a steam room kind of a thing. So that's the kind of smell I get with this one. It's very calming for sure. And then we've got this new fragrance from this house. So it says this fragrance explores the darker, more sensual side of vanilla, earthy and a bit chocolatey, rather than sweet or innocent. So there's woods, amber, oud, and sugary notes for a warm, addictive depth that feels both carnal and refined. There's also sandalwood here that keeps the fragrance lingering on the skin, and it's got a quiet, lasting trail. I have to say it's vanilla, but a bit more mature, not, young and fluffy, cakey. It's so super cozy and enveloping and comforting. This is not a kind of fragrance that you want for it if you are looking for screamers. This is a kind of fragrance that you wear to snuggle with. It's super delicious, but it's close to the skin. Like if you like fragrances that don't project, at least for me, this one doesn't. But you want a gourmand sweet, but not super sweet. More of a grown-up vanilla, that satisfies. And then, where's the other one? So this next one is a fragrance that opens with an unexpectedly addictive mix of dried fruits, creating red fruits and dried fruits, creating a sweet liquor-like first impression. A refined blend of musk, iris, vetiver, and linens add softness, brightness, and depth. The result is a modern, textured scent that feels both sensual and beautifully unconventional. This, to me, even though it has the fruity notes, it's so super clean and soapy, but also very, very musky. I love this. I fell in love with it like earlier this year. It finally is out. And it's a musk, slightly fruity, but again, very soapy. Very, very soapy. It acts like a clean, fruity, musky fragrance. Very nicely done. And then this next one, where is that one? This one actually is a milky fragrance. So if you like milky fragrances, you might dig this one. So this fragrance blends creamy milk with nutty notes and citruses, and a little bit of creamy coconut for a playful gourmand opening. Yeah, green flowers and additional nutty notes and tropical flowers soften the heart, adding an irresistible floral warmth. Caramel and ambroxan and also sandalwood finish the journey with a lingering sweetness that clings beautifully to the skin. I actually really love this one. You know, I've kind of shied away from talking about milky fragrances for a long time. I think I need to do an updated milky fragrances video. I think I'm going to do a deep dive. So stay tuned for that, which will feature this one as well. But this one, once again, super cozy. I feel like these fragrances are so super cozy. Perfect for autumn evenings or autumn days at home when you want to just feel warm and kind of cozy at home and relaxed and soothing. I love that. There's a slight fruitiness with that one as well. This next one is, where is it? Here it is. It's a masculine woody fragrance. This eau de parfum centers on a warm, creamy sandalwood. It's a sandalwood. Enriched with fresh vetiver, bright elemi, and subtle touch of Timur peppers with cedarwood. This offers a refined unisex woody character with a rich concentration. The result is a powerful yet elegant fragrance with a memorable, distinguished trail. Once again, it's cedarwood. To me, it does lean masculine, but I think a woman can totally pull it off if they prefer, you know, woody fragrances. But once again, this is also spa-like, but more focusing on creamy woods rather than like the greener notes that are with the previous fragrance I mentioned. I love that. It's sandalwood brought to life here. This is the creamy kit, I guess. Everything seems very creamy. And then finally, the last fragrance until we get to another round of fragrances. So we're not through yet. We've got a lot of fragrances to go through. This is, we've got 9 more after this one. So this next one, it says, this fragrance opens with bright bergamot and orange before moving into the soft floral heart of cotton blossom and white flowers. Musk, white woods, and sandalwood settle in the base, wrapping everything in the warmth of a Mediterranean summer night. It feels like a gentle journey toward new horizons, guided by a serene starlit glow. Yeah, lots of sandalwood, it seems like. This one's quite powdery and woody, lightly spicy. There's a lightly milky characteristic in here as well, but in the more like a powdered milk rather than like super like liquidy milk. There's some light aromatics in there as well, and woods. And of course, musk. I almost feel like there's something like heliotrope in this one, or maybe mimosa flower. Lightly, very lightly. And then we have 9 more remaining. Let me grab them. This next one's awesome. I really love it. It's a musk-focused fragrance. I think also I'm planning on a deep dive video of powdery musks. Also, if you haven't caught my 100 fragrances you must get your nose on as a perfume lover before you die video, please go catch that video as well. I love this. It says the scent begins with a bright spark of pink peppercorn that gives way to a luminous heart before settling into a soft, sensual musk base. It's designed to evoke the pulse of an energy of a city, modern, elegant, and quietly charged with electricity. It's sleek and intimate. A chic, skin-like aura wraps you in urban warmth and subtle sophistication. I really love that one. It's also fresh for a musk, so it's very easy to wear. So next we've got, where is it? A bit out of order here. Okay. All right. For this one, it says, this fragrance opens with creamy coconut before blooming into a lush heart of white flowers. A warm sandalwood base adds the depth and softness, giving this scent a cozy, radiant finish. It feels like sunshine on warm skin. I think I remember enjoying this one quite a bit as well. Yes, this one definitely. Just like the previous one. Super creamy. Soft and elegant. And I like that coconutty touch as well. There's a slight greenness about this one too. Oh my God, this is good. All right, so the next one. This scent opens with bright pineapple and a touch of citrus freshness before shifting into a soft, powdery heart. Dry woods bring a warm, slightly smoky finish that feels like the last notes of a night out. This one's pleasant. It's got freshness. This is more like a daytime wear. There is a slight touch of something familiar about it. And I'm not saying it smells like Aventus because I did mention pineapple. It doesn't. But there is a familiar smell about it. It also seems like it leans more masculine. But not necessarily like something that a woman can wear. I think it reminds me of some men's fragrances that I enjoy on the fresh side. That's why I feel I mentioned it leans masculine. All right, and then we've got so it says, this fragrance opens with a bright, uplifting touch of bergamot before unfolding into a delicate heart of lily of the valley, evoking soft, nostalgic memories and gentle warmth. Warmer notes in the base wrap everything in a cozy, homey sweetness that lingers on the skin like a comforting hug. Let me know if you've already bought your mystery box. I like this one, but this one I think you need skin. I like the 3 previous much more, and the first 2 I really love. This one seems like it needs some skin. It's a bit leathery and sweet vanillic as well. The next one is a bit of a beast. Where did it go? Here it is. Yeah, the next one is a bit of a beast and also a bit much darker, I should say. This scent opens with a spark of pink peppercorn before diving into smoky resinous ambery woods and incense. It's quite resinous and ambery. I feel like this one also has notes like papyrus or cypriol. It's giving me those kind of vibes. It's just a really, really dark and smoky, resinous, woody, earthy kind of smell. There's a kind of fiery quality about it. For sure, it's ambery. All right, we've got a few more fragrances left. 4 more. Let's see where it is. Okay. The scent opens with a bright spiciness from pink peppercorn that quickly melts into a rich velvety rose. As it dries down, earthy notes and sandalwood emerge, wrapping the composition in a deep woody warmth. The result is a confident, sensual fragrance that balances freshness and smoky earthiness. Lots of sandalwood. This is the milky, lactonic, creamy, woody, cozy collection. This one definitely has substance. It's nice, but there's much more sweeter qualities about it. And I like the sandalwood here. It's super creamy once again. There's also a bit of a red hots kind of a vibe, but not like the previous. The previous was more from resins and smoke. This one's a bit more like spices and sweeter notes. All right, the next one is an oud-focused fragrance. I can say that. This opens with a fresh aromatic note of herbs that leads into an herbaceous heart of rosemary. It then fades into deep agarwood, giving a rich woody warmth with a hint of mystery. The overall effect feels like dusk settling over land, bold, introspective, and quietly powerful. Let's see where. I'm a bit bored of oud. Unfortunately, this one's not so exciting for me. I can totally smell like cypriol type notes once again in this one, but it is nicely sweetened up though. It's quite spicy. There's definitely a golden glow about it. Okay, 2 more. Okay. This scent begins with a bright splash of citruses with aromatic notes, evoking a crisp, introspective moment under a sky. As it settles, earthy vetiver emerges, landing a grounded, woody calm, and feels quietly meditative. It's a perfume that captures that delicate transition from light to dusk. We've gone through quite a bit of fragrances. 35 total fragrances and 1 hand cream, remember? I love this. This one smells like violet leaves to me. Oh, I love that. It's juicy and crisp, fresh, also woody. Oh, wow. For some reason, violet leaves gives me that kind of a brightness, but it's kind of a darker note. Like, I don't know if you guys get that, but it kind of gives me that kind of an idea. All right, and then the last fragrance is amber focused. I'm gonna pause for a sec. Sorry, it was right in front of me. I'm not sure how I missed it. But this scent opens with herbs before deepening into warm cedarwood. Amber anchors the base, creating a soft, smoky, woody warmth that feels calm, mysterious, and quietly sensual. The overall vibe is one of amber-laced intimacy, like dusk settling over old stone streets and gentle desert air. For sure, the clary sage is quite prominent here. I spent some time in June in Provence, where the lavender fields were, and there we got to sample the Clary Sage. I really got familiar with Clary Sage. And this one, definitely the Clary Sage is really quite prominent. You'll really recognize it. This one also is quite, like there's a familiar smell about it, because I learned that Clary Sage is used quite a bit in men's fragrances, like men's designer fragrances tend to use. So this one has that kind of a familiarity about it, but it's much more deeper and richer. A lot of these fragrances do have that kind of richness. So that is the last fragrance in the kit. 35 total fragrances, with also a hand cream from one of the fragrances I discussed today. The kit is available now. You can get it. It's going to run out, like, as soon as I drop this video, the kit will run out. And also make sure, I mean, like I said, there's only 2 of those very special kits with 79 mystery samples plus 21 samples this sized from previous kits. So if you don't want repeats, do not get this special kit, because there's only 2. Leave it for somebody that really wants it, because there will be repeats, because these will be repeats from past kits and also this particular mystery box. I can't guarantee everything is in there, but there's, like I said, 79 samples plus 21 of these ScentClub samples that you saw in that kit. There's only 2 of those, but the regular mystery box is there. It will run out. Get yourself a box before it does. They make great gifts, by the way. And as I said, this is the biggest I've ever put together. So I'm very, very happy that we got it worked out. And I'm sorry it got delayed a week, but we made it just before Christmas. So, and these are going out Wednesday, by the way. These are going out Wednesday. That's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to come and see me at Phylum in Palm Springs on Saturday from 2 to 6. And I want to show you this new instrument, this machine they have that actually creates on-the-spot fragrances. I'm going to learn about it while I'm there, and I can show you as well. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.